Welcome to the unit on market segmentation, targeting and positioning. This unit differentiates the various market segments. This will help you to identify and create your target customers. This unit comprises of 5 modules and a final assignment that invites you to apply what you have learnt. By the end of this unit, the students will be able to define segmentation, targeting and positioning, understand basis of fashion consumer segmentation, understand how to arrive at their target customers, understand the concepts of positioning and the strategies of positioning. Finally, applying the concepts what you have learnt above and identifying segments for an apparel store or a brand. Now let's come to the first module. The first module defines segmentation, targeting and positioning. Now why segmentation? The world market has nearly 7 billion customers and they differ in many ways. As marketers, we have to arrive at a common ground on which all these 7 billion can be brought together and classified so that we can offer and serve the needs and wants better. Since we cannot select all, it's ideally better, but each segment has their own needs and wants. Hence, the need for segmentation. The levels of marketing segmentation starts from mass marketing when there is no segmentation, and once you do the segmentation goes on as segment marketing. The next, niche marketing, out of that very selective, and finally micro marketing. Let us understand one by one. In mass marketing, a fashion marketer has to mass produce, mass distribute and mass promote to all customers in the same way. Though a company might save a lot of money, time and energy in the present scenario, with today's enlightened customers, it will not work. Hence, the need for segment marketing and targeting. Now let's begin by understanding some of the key definitions. What is segmentation, targeting and market positioning? Segmentation is dividing a market into distinct groups of buyers with different needs, characteristics or behavior who might require separate products or marketing mixes. Now what is targeting? Targeting is the process of evaluating each market segments we identified's attractiveness and selecting one or more segments to enter or offer a product. Then what's market positioning? Market positioning is formulating competitive positioning in the minds of customers for a share, for the wallet, for a product and developing a detailed marketing mix. Philip Kotler and Gary Armstrong have recognized 6 steps in market segmentation, targeting and positioning. Now let's look at what are they. The first one is identifying basis for segmenting the market. Having identified, the second step is develop profiles of resulting segment. The third step is develop measures of segment attractiveness. The fourth one, select the target segments. The fifth one is now develop positioning for each target. The last step is develop marketing mix for each target segment. Now let's look at the first step, looking at basis of segmentation. A market can be broadly classified based on geographic, demographic, psychographic and behavioral factors. Now let's understand one by one of these factors. A geographic basis of classification can be done on the basis of world region or country, country region, city or metro size, density, climate, etc. The examples of geographic basis of classification on the basis of world region or country includes North America, China, India, etc. The examples of a geographic basis of classification on the basis of country, region or north, south, east, west, northeast, etc. The examples of a classification done on the basis of city or metro size or under 1 lakh population, between 1 to 5 lakh population, between 10 to 50 lakh population or 50 to 100 lakh population. Examples of a classification done on the basis of density are urban, suburban, rural. The examples of classification done on the basis of climate are northern, southern, etc. Many of the times you would be wondering why this geographic classification is. Suppose you were to be a designer. If you were to design a garment, the first question a designer would be asking is, where is my customer? Is he in India? Then I will design an Indian garment for him. Or if he is in US or is in Europe, if so, where? In the northern side or southern side or eastern side or western side? Whether he is in a city, so the fashions are prevalent there, or if it is in the outskirts, the less fashions are prevalent there, or if it is a city like Mumbai, which is most fashion forward, or a traditional city like Jaipur or Chennai, where my customer is. So that is the starting point for many of the designers. Even a typical Shopper Stop store which has spread across the entire country, each store depending upon the location offers different merchandise. Say for example, during winter, the store in Delhi offers different merchandise when compared to a store that is in the Thiruvananthapuram or in Chennai, because in Delhi during the winter it's severe cold, whereas in Thiruvananthapuram or in Chennai it will not be that cold. Hence the merchandise would be differing when compared to the store in the same country for the same company called Shopper Stop. Hence the importance of understanding the geographic factor. Now let's come to the next factor or base of segmentation, that is demographic segmentation. A demographic basis of classification can be done on the basis of age, gender, family size, family life cycle, income, occupation, education, religion, nationality. Now examples of classification done on the basis of age are under 1 year, 2 to 8 years, 9 to 12 years, 13 to 16 years, 16 to 22 years, 22 to 25 years, 25 to 30 years or 30 plus. This is required because the needs of every classification or every segment is different. Say for example, 0 to 1 year normally are called as toddlers. The very fabric, the colors, the material or the designs that are required will be entirely different from the 12 to 16 that is called as teens. Even though many of us would believe that all our kids 0 to 16 are considered as kids, but they are not. If I ask a 16-year-old guy or girl that you are a kid, they will tell, no, we are no longer kids, we are grown up. So the requirement, the needs and wants of each of these kids segment itself is different. So we have to understand within that the sub classifications. Now let's come in the demographic segmentation itself, the classification done on the basis of gender. The examples of classification done on the basis of gender are male, female, and today even the transgenders are given importance. Because the needs and wants of men would differ from women. So we have to develop or design different merchandise and different marketing mix for each of these segments. Now let's come to the next classification done on the family size. The examples of classification done on the basis of family size are 1 to 2 members family, or 3 to 4 members family, or 5 plus members, etc. Because the bigger the family size, the less would be the spending power, or there are different dynamics in a big families. Now let's come to the next example. The example of classification done on the basis of family life cycle are young and single, young married but no children, young married with children, the maturity stage or older stage, because in each of these life cycle stage the needs and wants are different. Suppose I am young individual, unmarried and earning. I will spend lavishly on my personal requirements. But the moment I am in love or I get married, my attention for the first time shifts from me to the other person. So there is a division of my income between these two. Suppose there is another member enters into the family, the kid. The income attention would get divided between wife and also the kid. So it's further divided. So the expenditure would proportionately get divided. So the needs and wants of these at each of these family life cycle stage differs from other. Now let's come to the crucial and very important demographic factor, that is the example of classification done on the basis of income. Now normally it would be under 50,000 per annum, or 1 to 2 lakh rupees per annum, or 2 to 5 lakh rupees per annum, because that's what decides what to buy, what not to buy. So income is a crucial factor of demographics. Now let's come to the next one. Examples of classification done on the basis of occupation are professionals. Professional will have a different attire. Technical, when you are working on the job, technical jobs, you need to have proper headgear and also the clothing which protects you. The managerial, managers normally dress formally. Lawyers normally will have a different attire which represents them. Doctors, they have their own dress code. Designers normally will be wearing different kinds of new designs. So depending on the occupation also, the needs and wants differ. The examples of classification done on the basis of education are illiterate, 10th class pass, 10 plus 2, graduates, postgraduates, etc. Now let's come to the examples of classification done on the basis of religion. Hindu, Islamic, Christian, Sikhs, Jains, etc. Because each religion sometimes prescribes, particularly for some occasions, a particular dress code. Hence, the needs and wants differ, sometimes even based on the religion. Now let's come to the next. Examples of a classification done on the basis of nationality. North American, South American, British, French, Indian, etc. Now let's come to the next basis of segmentation. A psychological basis classification can be done on the basis of social class, life cycle and personality. Now let's come to the examples of classification done on the basis of social class. Normally in the olden days, the society is divided into two classes. One is haves and another is have-nots. As the economy progressed, they need to be further classified. So it has come to lower class, middle class and upper class. Today it has gone further division, like lower middle, lower upper, lower middle, middle class, upper middle class, lower upper, upper, that is creamy layer, etc. Whatever the needs and wants again would differ depending upon the social class to which they belongs to. Now let's come to the next classification done on the basis of lifestyle. Today most of the fashion companies classify or segment their customers based on the lifestyles. Some of the examples are achievers, strivers and strugglers. Now let's come to the next classification done on the basis of personality. Compulsive personalities, gregarious personalities, authoritarian personalities, and ambitious personality. So depending upon the personality also, marketers market different products meeting the needs and wants of that segment. Now the next classification is the behavioral. This is a very important classification that is prevailing today. A behavioral basis of classification can be done on the basis of occasional benefits, user status, usage rate, usage occasions, attitude towards the product. Now let's take the first one. There's examples of classification done on the basis of occasional or regular, special occasions, etc. So whether the product is required on the regular basis or it's occasional. There are some customers who use the products regularly and some don't use, or some products are to be used regularly. The next classification is done on the basis of benefits, that is quality, service, economy, convenience and speed. There are a lot of internet customers who buy online who look for convenience and speed. So they are a different segment which is looking for a benefit in terms of convenience and speed. There are some customers who look only for quality. There is a benefit. Some would look for value for money. There is a benefit they are looking. So the classification is done based on that. Now let's come to the next one. Classification done on the basis of user status. There are examples like non-users, ex-users, potential users, first users and regular users, etc. The next classification on behavioral is examples of a classification done on the basis of usage rate, that is, are they light users, medium users or heavy users. Depending upon that, the products would be changed. The next classification is on usage occasions. Most of the apparel are classified or designed based on this usage occasion. Now let's see what are the examples. Examples of a classification done on the basis of usage occasions are morning, evening, night, swimming, bathing, etc. And also whether it's a formal or casual or semi-formal, party wear. Even olden days there used to be only one lingerie. Today we have lingerie, swimwear, bathwear, beachwear, etc. So the classification is done based on the usage occasions. The examples now of a classification done on the basis of attitude towards the product are enthusiastic, positive, indifferent, negative, hostile, etc. So these are the four bases of segmentation which a marketer uses, but not all the times a marketer will be clear about his segments based on these. Sometimes they may have to go with hybrid segmentation, that is like mixing the four bases what we have studied, that is demo-geographic, demo-psychographic or geo-demographic, etc. So this is what is called as hybrid segmentation. That also can be used by the marketers to identify the segments. Now, having identified segments, this module examines way of selecting the target segment. While evaluating the market segments, fashion marketers use segment size and growth. What is the size? If it is big, let's select. If it's a small, let's not select. Even if it is small size, they will look into the growth potential that is there. If both are there, it's a very good target. Then the next basis of targeting is segment structural attractiveness. attractiveness. If you look at Indian economy structure, basically today because of the government liberalization policies, globalization and encouragement, there is a structural attractiveness in the market. So this is a target market for many of the companies. Then the companies have to look at their own objectives and the resources, whether they can select and target that segment based on the company objectives and resources. All these are used for selecting the lucrative segment to target. After evaluating, the company must decide how many segments to serve. In the process, the company may decide to adopt one of these market covering strategies: undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing and concentrated marketing are some of the strategies used by the companies after selecting the target. The undifferentiated marketing strategy focuses on what is common in the needs of consumers. It ignores the differences and goes with one offer to the entire market. The next one, in the differentiated marketing strategy, targets all segments but designs separate marketing mix for each of the targets. In concentrated marketing strategy, the company targets one or few markets and tries to garner maximum share in the target they have selected. They try to garner the maximum share. This module examines the concept of positioning and various strategies of positioning. Alright, a well-known marketing professional and author, defined positioning as not what you do to the product, it's what you do to the mind of the prospect. It's how you differentiate your brand in the mind. Positioning compensates for our over-communicated society. By using an oversimplified message to cut through the clutter and get into the mind. This is the basic model of segmentation, targeting and positioning. Positioning is the perception of the brand's or product's key benefits and features relative to the offering of competitive products in the mind of the target customer. The overall positioning is created through the marketing mix of the brand. Positioning, therefore, contributes to the creation of the brand identity. Positioning is important for communicating with the customers, for differentiation, for maintaining customer loyalty or creating brand equity, and for avoiding cannibalization. Communicating with customers, a clear positioning enables the marketing communications team of the brand to deliver consistent marketing messages to the target customers. Let's discuss the next differentiation. It also enables the customers to differentiate between the product offerings of the brand compared to the competing products. Maintaining customer loyalty. Since the customer is able to appreciate and acknowledge the differences in the product offerings by company key features, it leads to customer loyalty and thereby sales. Creating brand equity. Greater customer loyalty in turn results in higher brand equity, which not only increases market share but also protects against competition threat and reduces price sensitivity. The last, avoiding cannibalization. It enables brands following a multi-brand strategies to leverage market opportunities without the risk of cannibalization. Customers are able to see the specific differences in the multiple product offerings in the same category rather than having a general approach towards a category itself. The main objective of positioning is to achieve a high product or brand recall with the target group while purchasing. Hence, it must perform the following tasks. It should be able to highlight the company's product features compared to that of the competition. It should be able to acknowledge key consumer evaluation parameters for different product categories. It should be able to communicate the claims of the products in terms of benefits or attributes or value. In order to effectively perform the above tasks, a positioning statement must have the following features. It should communicate one consistent primary message. The message should resonate with the target group in terms of relevance and importance. The differentiation claimed should be sustainable over a longer period of time to safeguard against competition. It should be credible enough to inspire trust and belief in the target market. Let's look at some of the major positioning strategies. They focus on the product attribute, the users, the product class, the competition, the use or application of the product, and the quality or value of the product. Let's discuss one by one. By product attribute, positioning focuses on one or two of the product's best features and benefits. For example, the Colgate campaign, क्या आपका टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? It focuses on whether your toothpaste has namak in it. The next one is by user. Positioning focuses on the user. That's the ideal target customer and shows the product as a solution to his need or social prestige. For example, the Manikchand campaign, Unche Log, Unche Pasand. Bajaj Scooty Pep campaign, why should boys have all the fun? It focuses on the users. By product class, positioning focuses on a leadership position in the overall market. For example, in a soap compares itself to lotion. Palmolive dishwashing liquid claims that it softens hands while the user cleans the dishes. The next positioning is against competition. Positioning focuses on implied or direct competition with a competitor. For example, Sprite campaign. Bujai sirf pyas, baki sab bakwas. It's against Mount Chew. The next positioning is based on by use or application. Positioning focuses on how the product is used by consumer, claiming that the product is the best solution for that particular task or use. For example, the Oral-B campaign, Lifebuoy campaign, Head and Shoulders anti-dandruff shampoo campaign. The next positioning is based on by quality or value. Here, the positioning focuses on the product's claim of either delivering high quality or high value when compared to competitive products. For example, Fevicol's campaign, ये फेविकॉल का मजबूत जोर है, टूटेगा नहीं. It is important to note that the brands can, however, choose a combination of these different positioning strategies to create their positioning statement. In today's world of media proliferation and a greater consumer access to information through evolved technology, the consumer is constantly forming an image of the brand or product through various touch points. The firm's communication mix has a big role to play, as it usually focuses on particular benefits and advantages of the product. Positioning is viewed on a relative basis. Therefore, the competitor's IMC mix product claims will also affect the positioning of all products. The actual design and features of the product, particularly when consumers use the product, has a major impact on the perception of the product and its relative advantages. One of the experiences the consumer has of the product is the look and feel of the packaging. Word of mouth communication between consumers has a high level of credibility and cut through and will greatly influence positioning. Media discussion and articles or product reviews are also seen as quite credible and independent and will influence consumers' perception. The type of retailers where the product is sold gives an indication of the product's quality and status. The overall price points of the product act as a cue for quality, and a high frequency of sales promotions may suggest lower quality. Hence, the retailer or marketer has to be very careful. The cumulative perception of all these information sources results in the company's image in the mind of the target customer. Repositioning. Repositioning is the task of implementing a major change in the target market's perception of the product's key benefits and features relative to the offering of competitive products. In order to create a successful repositioning statement, the firm has to change the target consumer's understanding of the brand or product. These are the key reasons for which firms consider repositioning. Decline in the relevance of existing benefits due to change in consumer lifestyle or needs. Emergence of new competitive threats requiring the brand to move to a less competitive zone. Incorrect initial positioning in terms of either under positioning or over positioning. Change in the macro environment requires the firm to adopt a new positioning to stay competitive and relevant in the market. Significant improvements in the existing product which requires the firm to adopt a new position in order to communicate to customers about the new benefits. Now, let's move on to perceptual maps and their use. Cards, Cronley and Klein remarked that perceptual maps measure the way products are positioned in the minds of the consumers and show these perceptions on a graph whose axes are formed by product attributes. Renowned authors Farrell and Hartline describe a perceptual map as one that represents customer perceptions and preferences spatially by means of a visual display. A perceptual map or positioning map is a tool that visually attempts to map the consumer's perceptions and understanding of the competitive products and their respective positioning in the market. The most common presentation format for a perceptual map is to use two determinant attributes as the x-axis and y-axis of a graph. While deciding a brand's or product's positioning in the market, the firm should ensure that sufficient points of parity, that is POP, and points of difference, that is POD, are incorporated in the positioning statement. The brand or product must be considered as having equal or similar, on par with key attributes or benefits as offered by the major offerings in the category, that is POP. However, the brand or product also need to be distinctive and different from competitive products by having unique attribute, that is POD. When this is done, a balance needs to be maintained between the POP and POD, because there is too much depends on POP and the product might get into the trap of being perceived as a Me Too product. On the other hand, less reliance on points of parity might result in the consumer perceiving that the product does not meet the basic needs of the consumers. Points of difference, that is POD, are the aspects of the product offering that are relatively distinct to the offerings of like competitors. The points of parity, POP, are the aspects of the product offering that are largely similar to the offerings like competitors. Please note that both the definitions are with reference to the offerings of competitors and hence are relative in nature. The word aspects refers to the various product features, benefits and various other aspects of marketing mix. The final module focuses on the identification of segment of an apparel store or brand. The domestic apparel market, which was worth rupees 2,07,400 crore, that is close to 38 billion US dollars as of 2012, is expected to grow at a compounded average growth rate of 9% over the next decade. The Indian apparel industry contributes about 14% to the industrial production, 4% to the GDP and 17% to the country's export earnings. It provides direct employment to over 35 million people. The use of segmentation enables the retailers to identify the target customers. Retailers or brands primarily focus on gender, age, occasion, income and lifestyle aspects while segmenting their market. These are the major bases of segmentation. This also allows them to differentiate their offerings compared to the competition and to create unique selling proposition, that is USP, for their store or brand. The key segments used in the apparel store are gender based, age related, occasion related, price or income related, or channel related. We will now look briefly at each of these segments. With a market size of 87,500 crore, that is close to 16 billion US dollars in 2012, menswear is the largest segment in India's apparel market, accounting for 42% of the overall market. In comparison, women's wear makes up 38%, while kids wear comprises 20% of the market. The menswear market is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate, that is CAGR, of 8.5% to reach 1,31,000 crore, that is close to $24 billion by 2017. Denim, activewear and t-shirts are high growth categories within menswear segment with CAGRs of 16%, 14% and 12% respectively. The acceptance of casual or Friday dressing and the availabilities of denim in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and rural India are contributing to the growth of the category. The shift from formal attire to comfort-oriented casual attire is driving the market for men's t-shirts alongside the demand for denim. The Indian male today wants to experiment with innovative colors and silhouettes. There is an increase in the demand for colored bottom wear with new colors like red, green, orange, etc. are being accepted. There is also growth in the premium tailoring segment comprising of fashion designers and the bespoke and luxury segment. Customers in the super premium segment are willing to pay a premium to ensure that their clothing is distinctive and indicative of their social position. Key brands in the menswear segment include Louis Philippe, Allen Solly, Park Avenue, Zodiac and Color Plus. The rupees 78,500 crore, that is close to US dollar 14.4 billion worth women's wear market contributes to 38% of the total apparel market of India. The growth of this market is more rapid than the menswear market. With a relatively lower penetration of brands and growing disposable income of modern women, this segment has become the focus of many Indian and international brands. Indian ethnic wear, which includes sari, salwar kameez and blouse, is the biggest category within the segment with a 75% share of the entire women's wear market. The market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 9% to reach a figure of rupees 1,21,400 crore, that is close to US dollar 22.3 billion by 2017. Denim, innerwear and tops, shirts, t-shirts are the high growth categories indicative of greater penetration and acceptance of Western clothing among Indian women. Denim is growing at compounded annual growth rate of 17% and women's wear at 14% and tops, shirts and t-shirts at 11%. Denim is penetrating deeper among women in the metros and mini metros, especially among the younger generation. The trends of women's empowerment and higher education is leading towards greater absorption of women in the workforce. This in turn is resulting in the demand for women's western wear. The working women in the metros and the mini metros are accepting dresses, formal suits and business attire as a part of the corporate wardrobes. Some of the key brands in the women's wear segment include Allen Solly, W, Biba, Viromoda, United Colors of Benetton, that is UCB. According to the Indian Apparel Report 2008 Images Yearbook Volume 4, the size of the kids wear market is estimated to be at 30,500 crore Indian rupees and expected to grow to 58,000 crore by 2014. So it's going to grow by leaps and bounds. Age is a distinguishing factor that helps apparel retailers, as we discussed earlier, to effectively target their prospective customer groups. Many clothing manufacturers target teenage girls with their trendy new fashion lines. Children's clothing retailers may also sell related items that appeal to children and their parents. With the increase in exposure through TV channels, video games, internet and through the society, and the influence of superheroes, cartoon characters and peer influence, children are becoming aware of key fashion trends. The pestering power of children in influencing parents to make purchase decisions is being increasingly targeted by the marketers. Here are the key age-related market classifications which we have seen already. The infants are between 0 to 6 months, toddlers 7 months to 2 years, kids 3 to 8 years, preteens 9 to 12 years, teens 13 to 16 years. With each age group having their own needs and wants and products, there is a challenge for the marketers to cater to each of these segments. Mothercare, Catmos, Disney, Lilliput, Ginny and Johnny are some of the key brands in the kidswear segment. The demand for occasion-specific clothing is rising within the menswear segment. For example, active wear at the gym in the morning, formal shirts, trousers and suits during office hours, and smart casuals in the evening and sleepwear at night is for the occasions. The demand for ethnic dressing at special occasions like marriages and social functions is also a distinct trend. Further, the trend towards focusing on healthy lifestyle while maintaining the fashion quotient of the wear is leading to the growth of fashionable sportswear, yoga wear, etc. Retailers are leveraging this fashion meets fitness clothing requirement of the customer. Formal wear refers to clothing suitable for formal social occasions such as corporate or formal meetings. Brands famous in the formal wear category are Louis Philippe, Raymond, Blackberries, etc. Casual wear refers to clothing which emphasizes comfort and personal expression, which is worn for informal occasions. It gives the overall feel of dressing down, being relaxed and at ease. Brands famous in the casual wear category are Guess, FC UK, Calvin Klein, Banana Republic, etc. There is one more category called club wear, is clothing that is worn to nightclubs or parties. It comprises of extremely stylish and sensual garments. Brands famous in the party wear category are Zod, V-Dot, Provogue, etc. Active wear in sportswear that meets modern day sporting, fitness and fashion requirements. Active wear uses the latest performance fabrics and technologies for meeting sporting and gym based activities. These garments can be worn for various sports and also stylish. Brands famous in the activewear category are Nike, Adidas, H&M, Uniqlo, etc. Price and income related segments is a major category. This segment is basically a discount looking segment or value, or it can be premium, or it can be luxury market. So the stores are classified as economy brands, mid premium stores and brands with premium and super premium stores and luxury stores and brands. We will now look at each of these segments. Discount stores or economy brands are retailers target the lower middle class to economy customers. customers are motivated to purchase by deals and discounts. It's a volume driven business with basic focus on product quality. Examples of this segment are Big Bazaar, Easy Day, local stores, etc. The mid-premium stores and brands target the middle class customers with value for money products. Their focus is on offering quality products at competitive prices. For example, Peter England, Mega Mart, etc. The premium and super premium stores are generally operated by major business houses or multinational organizations. They offer extremely differentiated and high quality and high price products in keeping with current fashion trends. They target the SECA customers with significant disposable income. For example, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo Ralph Lauren, Diesel, etc. The growth of the Indian luxury market is driven by an increasing base of ultra high net worth households. These stores offer most elite and bespoke products and services and are targeted to customers who are discerning spenders and appreciate fine luxury goods. For example, Chanel, Prada, Gucci, etc. Luxury stores can be broadly classified into two categories, that is store based and non-store based. The store based segment can be further classified into EBO, that is exclusive brand outlet. The exclusive brand outlets are stores that sell a single brand from the outlet. For example, Reebok, Titan, Puma, etc. The benefits of an EBO or mono brand outlet is that the exclusive status leads to greater brand equity among customers. The retailer gets better margin as well better control on marketing mix and customer service. The next one is multi-brand outlet. A multi-brand retail or departmental stores are outlets where multiple brands are sold under one roof. The major advantage of an MBO format is that it generates more footfalls because the customers get wider choice. For example, Shopper Stop, Lifestyle, Big Bazaar, Central, etc. The non-store based segment can be further classified into e-commerce. Merchandise is sold through online portals. The customer gets access to a wide range of choices, has sufficient information to compare prices and can shop from the comfort of his home or office. For example, Myntra.com, FashionInYou.com, Flipkart, etc. Catalog retailing. The catalog retailing is a form of non-store retailing format where the retail offering is communicated through a catalog to the consumers. However, such formats usually work better in combination with a physical store format. For example, Hypercity Argos, Hypercity Retail India Limited, along with Shopper Stop Limited, entered into a franchise agreement with Home Retail Group UK to offer a unique multi-channel shopping experience to its customers. Now you have come to the end of this unit. To summarize, in this unit you have learned to differentiate various market segments and examine where to identify and create target customers. Thank you.